What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Brian Reacts, where I review pro form and amateur form alike.
Today I'm reacting to Tyler.
But before we get to that, please take a moment to like the video or subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please leave comments too. I read and respond to everything. Greetings, Tyler. I promised you a video and I want to talk about your form. You said you've been playing for about 10 months, and honestly, for 10 months of self-exploration and grinding, you are doing very well. I want to start with the positives in your form. The first thing I notice you doing is you are striding linear. Your force production and the entire stride itself and your balance positions are all moving linear. I'm going to walk towards the target to show that. Linear walking, everything moving forward. But some things interesting are happening right away. They were way more evident in the side view of your form. When I first looked at your form, I was looking at it from the back and it wasn't as obvious. In this case, when I looked at your form from the back, again, I saw that linear stride. I saw rotation in your upper body. Your left leg not pointed backwards the whole time, but you were actually kind of recovering the left leg and getting it pretty lateral to your stride too. And the stride was straight and you were landing on your heel. You were pushing into your leg, so the leg was extending and adding. The hips are ahead of the shoulders to a point. It looks very natural and athletic and pretty smooth. But fundamentally, you are missing so much energy production. The reason why it's happening is evident right at the very start. You can see it really, really clearly from the side view. As soon as you take your first stride, I watch your head turn to the side. It doesn't go forward. When I stride towards you, my head is forward. I'm attacking. If I look right at the camera, attack, boom. That's a lateral stride, attacking and balancing. But you're not doing that. Your head is turned sideways. The reason why it's turned sideways is because your head is serving as a predictive counterweight to what's going on in your pesky back foot. You are stepping way behind, and your hips momentarily are pointing backwards, away from the target. Why is that so disastrous? Because in this position, you can already see me doing it. The foot doesn't balance moving in this direction when it's backwards. You're falling off your back foot. And as you fall off the back foot, you are swinging your hip open and you're completely off balance now. How do you direct energy starting on the trailing side into a falling, collapsing mechanism? You can't. You're trying to produce energy through the ground and through the disc. All of that stuff needs to happen perfectly in sequence. Everything tense and then relaxing in sequence, down a linear line in order to really do anything hard. You're an athletic man. I can see you have a ton of power, but look how slow your arm is going. And the reason for that is because you are falling backwards when you're throwing the disc. It's starting with this. Landing backwards, falling, toppling onto your back foot. You can see it rise up behind you, catching your body weight, starting to spin your body, and the momentum of your body is actually dragging the disc through your core over your right shoulder. You're doing your very best for your arm to manage it, and you're swinging the disc and letting it go with your arm about half bent right here so that it goes down the line. And your arm is not bracing, it's sort of just out here floating. This coming out here. And then your body is winding up all of that falling rotation to throw the disc about 25 degrees to the right of where it's coming out when you let it go. The other thing too is you notice when the disc is coming out and flying away from your hand, your shoulders are wide open to the target line. If you look at someone who's bombing, boom, they're here. Arm down, right arm up, head here. Shoulders basically closed off until they can't be anymore, rather than opening up and then the arm pushing out away from your body. If you think about how you can be strong against a disc, you're not strong like this, it's weak. And kind of that's all that's really happening because of this toppling motion. You're kind of flinging the disc, but you gotta let it go here. So your arm never even uncoils all of that leveraged energy. So how do we fix this problem? How do we begin to address this problem? Pesky back foot. This thing is undoing you. It is without a doubt the most common problem, I think, that players have once they've kind of figured out a lot of the basic mechanics. So I'm gonna basically just show you a quick demonstration of how I solved the pesky back foot myself. For one, I want you to think about what you feel when you're toppling off this back foot. You're pretty good already at catching yourself in balance. This is kind of what your plant looks like. Linear, falling backwards. It's kind of shoe-stroke-like actually in a way. Like that, okay? So that's the same intention you're already doing. And you notice you can do it slow. So instead of falling off the heel, let's fall off the instep of the back foot. So that when you fall, you're not falling backwards, which requires you to land on your heel and spin. From this stride position, falling off the pesky back foot and landing in a balanced position, you should be able to immediately rebound back up and fall again. The weight of this is down through the ball of my foot, mostly in the ball of my foot, but I'm trying to prioritize the instep of my back foot, just for a little extra push as gravity makes me fall to the right. This is the position you want to be aiming for and winding your body up against, not a topple. This is super easy to wind up the backswing. So work on that for now. If you want to do a stride, I'll give you one more tip today, and we'll leave it at that. If you want to work on a balanced lateral stride, when you do it right, you should never feel like you have to turn your head away, ever, until you are required to do that to load the backswing. So when you're actually balanced and you're keeping your weight ahead of the instep of your back foot because you've solved it, you never feel like you have to turn away until it's time to load the shoulders and the swing to get ready to grab a hold of the disc back here. I stride here, and my aim is to keep this leg, the back leg, pushed in. With practice, you can go real fast and stay light and bouncy. Keeping this foot in is a really good cue to keeping everything lateral. You're gonna need to do that because the temptation to wind the back hip open, like you've been doing for 10 months, is gonna be overwhelming at first. So train these positions slowly. Do them through repetition. Don't use a disc. Just work on the balance. As you get better at it, just try to speed it up, always keeping your head forward, and then start thinking about wind-up. But we can get to that on another day. Thanks so much for your time, Tyler. I hope these tips are helpful for you, and not just for you, but for people in the audience who are watching. See you guys next time.